Trump has just delivered one of the most decisive America First victories in modern history. The ruthless dictator Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the architect of 4 decades of Iranian terror against the United States and Israel, is dead. Taken out in a flawless US-Israeli precision strike, this operation has shattered the mullahs' grip, crippled their terror network, and sent a clear message to every rogue regime: attack Americans or our allies, and you will pay the ultimate price. By dawn on February 28, 2026, US B-2 stealth bombers, supported by Israeli F-35s, executed Operation Epic Fury with surgical accuracy. Over 1,000 precision-guided munitions struck more than 1,000 high-value targets across Iran: missile factories, nuclear sites, IRGC headquarters, and command bunkers. Khamenei, aged 86, and the linchpin of Iran's anti-American jihad, was confirmed killed in his Tehran office alongside senior Revolutionary Guard commanders, according to official Pentagon and CENTCOM statements. Iranian state media grudgingly admitted the death hours later, declaring 40 days of mourning, while the regime scrambled to hide its panic. This strike was not reckless, it was righteous and overdue. For too long, Iran has murdered American troops through proxies, funded Hamas and Hezbollah atrocities, threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz, and raced toward nuclear weapons. Trump refused to let another president kick the can down the road. By acting boldly and without apology, he protected American lives, secured our allies, and restored deterrence in a region where weakness invites aggression. The operation was textbook military excellence. After months of meticulous CIA and Mossad intelligence, Trump authorized the joint strike to decapitate Iran's command structure and gut its ability to project terror. B-2 bombers penetrated deep into Iranian airspace undetected, delivering 2,000-pound bunker busters on hardened targets. Khamenei was struck dead at his desk. Trump wasted no time telling the truth on Truth Social. "We got him before he got us. They tried twice. I finished it first." In a Daily Mail interview, he called Khamenei one of the most evil people in history, responsible for countless American deaths, and confirmed the mission was on track to wrap in 4 weeks or less. If Trump's decisive strike on Iran's terror regime is already firing you up, finally holding the mullahs accountable after decades of attacks on Americans, then let's keep the momentum going. Smash that like button right now if you stand with strong leadership that protects our troops and allies instead of endless weakness. Drop a quick comment, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the real story on how America wins when we stop apologizing and start winning. Keep watching, this is just getting started. Conservative voices erupted in support. Fox News host Sean Hannity called it the single most important blow against terrorism since bin Laden, praising Trump for having the guts to do what weak leaders refused. Mark Levin on his radio show declared, "This is what winning looks like. Trump just took out the head of the snake and reminded the world that America doesn't negotiate with evil, we defeat it." Senator Ted Cruz tweeted, "Iran has been at war with us since 1979. President Trump ended their supreme leader's reign of terror. Strong leadership saves lives." The Daily Wire's Ben Shapiro wrote, "The left will scream war crime, but the real crime was letting Khamenei live this long." Iran's reaction only proved the strike hit home. President Masoud Pezeshkian called it an open declaration of war. IRGC commanders went on state TV vowing revenge, while regime-organized crowds in Tehran chanted "Death to America" and waved portraits of the dead Ayatollah. A Shiite cleric issued a jihad fatwa, per Al Jazeera reports. But the bluster can't hide the cracks. An interim council formed in haste, hardliners are clinging to power, and the regime knows the 2025 to 2026 protests, where 30,000 Iranians died, left deep resentment that could erupt again now that the supreme leader is gone. Iran fired back with missiles and drones targeting US bases in Kuwait, Iraq and Jordan, plus naval facilities in Bahrain. Additional strikes hit sites in Qatar and Oman. In Israel, Iranian barrages killed 9 civilians in a direct hit on a synagogue in Beit Shemesh, according to the Associated Press, with shrapnel damaging Tel Aviv and Haifa areas, totaling 11 civilian deaths and 28 wounded. Israel's Iron Dome intercepted the majority, once again proving why strong missile defense matters. Netanyahu vowed to hit thousands more targets and called on the Iranian people to rise against their oppressors. Conservatives see Iran's response as desperate flailing. The regime's arsenal is being shredded, its leadership is in disarray, and its proxies are watching their paymaster bleed. The regional fallout underscores Iran's isolation. Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE closed airspace briefly after projectiles crossed borders, but Gulf allies quietly permitted US overflights and refueling. Dubai airport sustained minor shrapnel damage per Reuters. Qatar and Oman reported explosions, but no catastrophic losses. The IRGC warned ships against entering Hormuz, prompting major carriers like Hapag-Lloyd to suspend transits temporarily. Oil futures rose toward $100 a barrel, a 25% jump, but markets steadied as confidence grew in US naval protection of the vital choke point. Trump remained rock solid. "We will avenge our fallen heroes and complete the mission." He reported 48 Iranian leaders eliminated based on CIA intelligence, framing the strikes as justified self-defense and long overdue justice for Iran's 4 decades of terror, from the 1983 Beirut barracks bombing to the arming of militias that killed over 600 Americans in Iraq. Conservatives reject any pretext narrative. This was accountability, not provocation. As Hezbollah fired rockets from Lebanon and Houthis launched drones towards Saudi Arabia and UAE, most intercepted, and Syrian militias mobilized near the Golan but stayed defensive, the axis of resistance is visibly cracking. Iran, the head of the snake, is wounded, and US-Israeli resolve is only growing stronger. The war shows no sign of slowing, and that's exactly why Trump's decisive leadership is paying off. US and Israeli strikes continued Tuesday, targeting Iranian leadership compounds, missile sites, and internal security headquarters, per CNN and Reuters. Trump claimed most Iranian military installations knocked out, and new strikes hit leadership targets. Israel struck a compound tied to electing Iran's next supreme leader. This is the kind of relentless pressure that breaks tyrannical regimes, proving America and her allies are not just participating, they're dominating. Iranian retaliation widened. Ballistic missiles hit Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar Tuesday, the largest US installation in the Middle East, per Qatar reports. No casualties specified, but damage confirmed. A suspected Iranian drone struck US consulate grounds in Dubai, personnel accounted for, per State Department. Iranian missiles hit central Israel Tuesday, with impacts reported in populated zones despite Iron Dome intercepts, adding to the civilian toll that now stands at least 16 dead and dozens wounded, according to Israeli rescue services. Hezbollah intensified rocket fire from southern Lebanon into northern Israel, while Houthi drones targeted Saudi oil infrastructure near Abqaiq, briefly disrupting output but intercepted in most cases. Syrian regime-aligned militias mobilized near the Golan Heights but stayed defensive. Conservatives see this as the axis of resistance crumbling. Deprived of Iranian funding and coordination, these proxies are firing blindly, exposing their weakness against superior US-Israeli tech and tactics. Trump's assurances on shipping are a game-changer for global stability. On Tuesday, he announced US government-backed political risk insurance through the International Development Finance Corporation for vessels crossing Hormuz, and Navy escorts, if necessary, per his Truth Social post and Reuters coverage. This bold move ensures energy flows despite Iranian threats, stabilizing markets and preventing leftist doomsayers from panicking the economy. Trump also extended an olive branch for talks, but Iran rejected it outright. He claims Tehran sought negotiations, but he turned them down as too late amid ongoing aggression, per his statements reported by Fox News and the New York Post. Iran's Supreme National Security Council Secretary, Ali Larijani, dismissed the offers as delusional, insisting no dialogue under fire. Conservatives applaud this. Trump isn't naive like past administrations. He's negotiating from strength, forcing Iran to the table on America's terms or face total defeat. Laura Ingraham on Fox News declared, "This is what real leadership looks like. Trump took out the head terrorist and now his minions are scattering. God bless our troops and allies." YouTube commentator Tim Pool raved in a video. Iran's regime is on life support. Trump's strike exposed their bluff. The mullahs are done. Watch the dominoes fall. Senator Lindsey Graham stated on the Senate floor, "President Trump has restored American credibility. Iran backed down from full escalation because they know we're serious." Iran's interim council is projecting unity, but it's smoke and mirrors. State media showed massive mourning crowds, but intelligence suggests internal fractures. Some IRGC units hesitated on orders, and renewed protests from the 2025 to 2026 uprising bubbled up despite besieged crackdowns. Amnesty International noted suppressed demonstrations, but conservatives point out these are signs the regime is imploding, with ordinary Iranians potentially ready to throw off the yoke of oppression. Oil markets surged. Brent settled at $81.40 Tuesday, up 4.7% and 12% since the start, highest since January 2025, per Reuters. But this is temporary. Trump's insurance pledge and naval presence will reopen Hormuz soon, stabilizing prices and ensuring American energy independence. US gasoline neared $6 a gallon in liberal strongholds like California, a reminder of why conservative energy policies matter. Aviation chaos hit hard. Over 21,300 cancellations at Middle East airports since Saturday, per Flight Radar 24. Airspace restrictions in Iran and Gulf states stranded thousands. Yet US military flights continue uninterrupted, showcasing operational superiority. European allies grumbled. France and Germany called for de-escalation and UN mediation, per their foreign ministers, but their words lack teeth. The EU's Assassinated mission noted tankers turning back, but conservatives dismiss this as European weakness. They've relied on US protection for decades. China condemned the strikes as a serious violation of sovereignty, supporting Iran's defense without committing aid. Russia called it unprovoked aggression, offering verbal backing but no military involvement. India urged restraint. Pakistan condemned attacks on Iran and Gulf strikes. Turkey closed airspace to US flights, criticizing Iran's targeting. Afghanistan's Taliban stayed silent but fortified borders. This war is longer than the naysayers hoped, but that's because Iran is fighting for survival and losing. Trump and Netanyahu's strategy is working. Interceptors are holding despite strain. Stimson Center reports depletion risks, but resupplies are en route. And war fatigue? That's leftist spin. US and Israeli resolve is stealing, with troops motivated to finish the job. As explosions echo across Gulf capitals and airspace restrictions persist, the momentum is with us. Israel's deeper strikes into Tehran are dismantling what's left of Iran's command, while its degraded arsenal poses diminishing threats. The real question: how soon until the regime collapses entirely? US and Israeli airstrikes continue Tuesday, hammering Iranian leadership bunkers, remaining missile depots, and IRGC internal security facilities, according to CENTCOM updates and Reuters reporting. Trump stated on Truth Social that most Iranian military installations have been knocked out, and confirmed fresh strikes on targets linked to potential successors. Israel struck a key compound used for selecting the next supreme leader, further paralyzing the regime's ability to reorganize. Conservative analysts note this relentless tempo is working. Iran's command structure is fragmented, its missile stocks are depleting, and its ability to sustain large-scale barrages is fading fast. Iran's counterattacks widened Tuesday, with ballistic missiles striking Al Udeid airbase in Qatar, the biggest US facility in the region, causing structural damage but no reported casualties, per Qatari officials. A suspected Iranian drone hit the grounds of the US consulate in Dubai. The State Department confirmed all personnel safe. In Israel, missiles reached central areas despite Iron Dome intercepts, contributing to a civilian toll of at least 16 dead and dozens wounded, per Israeli rescue services. Hezbollah ramped up rocket fire from Lebanon. Houthis launched drones towards Saudi oil sites near Abqaiq, most intercepted, and Syrian militias positioned near the Golan, but held back from major action. These are last-gasp efforts from a dying network, proxies firing blindly now that their Iranian lifeline is cut. Dan Bongino on his podcast called it Trump doing what no other president had the spine to do: cut the head off the snake and watch the body thrash. Megyn Kelly tweeted, Iran's terror empire is collapsing because Trump refused to play nice with killers. The left cries escalation, but this is de-escalation through strength. YouTube creator Steven Crowder posted a live reaction. Look at this. Khamenei gone, proxies panicking, oil flowing because America backs its allies. This is how you win wars, not beg for peace. Senator Josh Hawley stated in a Senate speech, President Trump has restored fear in our enemies and faith in our friends. This operation is saving American lives by ending threats before they reach our shores. Ordinary Iranians may soon seize the chance to overthrow their oppressors now that the supreme leader is gone. Interceptor stocks are holding strong. Patriot, THAAD, and Iron Dome systems have intercepted the vast majority of threats, with resupplies already in motion per Pentagon statements. Conservative outlets emphasize readiness. Our defenses are built for this. Iran's missiles are running out faster than ours, wrote National Review. This war is longer than the critics hoped, but that's because finishing the job properly takes time. Trump and Netanyahu's strategy is winning. Iran's command is shattered, its proxies are faltering, and the regime is on the verge of collapse. The endgame is near: victory for freedom, security, and American strength. This is what real American leadership looks like. Trump took out the head of the world's #1 terror regime, protected our troops, secured our allies, and showed every enemy that the United States doesn't negotiate with evil. We defeat it. The left is screaming quagmire and illegal war, but the facts are clear. Iran is crumbling, its proxies are scattering, and freedom is winning because we finally have a president with the guts to finish the job. If you're proud of this victory, if you stand with Trump, our military, and Israel against radical Islamic terrorism, then let's make our voices heard loud and clear. Smash that like button right now if you support bold action that keeps America safe and strong. And if you want unfiltered, pro-America updates that celebrate strength, victory, and Trump's America First agenda the second they happen, hit subscribe and turn on notifications now. We're not backing down, we're just getting started.